What's up, guys? Episode 19 of the podcast, coming to you live from my bed. Yep, literally lying in bed recording this because I am absolutely done in from the weekend. Yesterday, I was competing in Redbull Neptune Steps, or attempting to, which is what I'm going to talk about. And today, I had a big cardio triathlon training session, half Ironman in June in Denmark. So it was a big one today. So I'm feeling the effects of that. So yeah, I'm just chilling out, doing the podcast, nice and relaxed this Sunday evening. So yeah, yesterday I competed in or attempted to compete in Redbull Neptune Steps Challenge, which is an open water swimming event, which was held in Glasgow. It was my first attempt at doing it. It was brought to my attention about, 4 or 5 months ago from a friend who had done it the previous year, and he was like, I see you do triathlon, open water swimming. This thing's really cool. You should give it a bash. I had a look at it, and I was like, yeah, man, that looks amazing. I definitely want to do that. So I signed up back then, and it was yesterday. So what the event is, it's open water swimming. You're in literally the canal in Glasgow, and you are in a race, in a heat with another bunch of dudes, and you are open water swimming, and then there's loads of obstacles. There's like climbing up nets, climbing up ropes, climbing up like this kind of wall climb thing, diving back into the water, swimming again, and like a kind of Tough Mudder type thing in the water. So I was actually really excited for it, and couldn't wait to get stuck into it. However, the beast from the east came last week, didn't it? Which kind of ruined everybody's life, to be honest. The beast from the east. The whole country was on lockdown because the weather was so bad. But what that done was it had obviously an effect on the temperature of the water, because we got an email last week about the Neptune Step. Obviously, when the weather, all the bad weather with the really, really horrific snow was happening last week, I was thinking, this thing can't go ahead next week, because if it's anything like this, it's just not doable. But obviously the snow stopped, and they sent us an email saying that obviously they'd been keeping an eye on the weather, but they were going to go ahead with it, and the water was 2 degrees. I would say it was colder than that, but they said it was 2 degrees, and there was a cut-off time of 15 minutes, because if basically they couldn't let anyone stay in the water for longer than that because of how cold it was. So, yeah, I mean, last week was a crazy week, and it wasn't the best preparation for something like that, to be honest, because the beast from the east, crazy weather at the weekend, and then we literally moved the gyms at the weekend as well. We moved Elite from Bath Street to its new home in Washington Street, and it was just a crazy, crazy week. We were literally moving the gym, building the new gym. Really late nights, early mornings. I was catching up missed sessions from the previous week because the beast. Sorry, not a lot of people made it in. So it was literally, I was at early mornings, late nights, every single night. Plus, I done, I think it was 4 weight sessions, a swimming session, 2 running sessions, and 2 cycling sessions. So yeah, by the time Friday night came, I was absolutely beat, and I had to be up at 6 a.m. on Saturday morning to get picked up early doors to go to Mary Hill, which is where the canals were, where the Redbull Neptune Steps was getting hosted. So, man, I had a bit of a cold come on Thursday, a bit of a sore throat, sniffly nose. Friday, It's not really that bad, but just a bit of a cold, and I'm like, oh man, feel a bit kind of done in, but it's all good. You know, I'll give it my best shot, and it'll be fine. Woke up on the Saturday. It was absolutely pouring a rain all morning. It was absolutely freezing. Got to the venue. This was about 2 hours before I was due to race, and it was just soaking wet, man. It was just horrible. It was a bad vibe. It was just minging. Didn't feel good. And obviously the water was absolutely freezing. So there was a couple of heats on before me. So I was watching some folk obviously getting into the water and stuff before it, and it just looked so bad. You know, there's people getting pulled out the water because it was obviously just too much and too cold. So yeah, by the time like I had my wetsuit on and my goggles and my swim cap and stuff, and I was down at the starting point ready to go, I was already shivering, freezing. It really was not a good a good situation, and I hate the cold. Like I absolutely hate the cold. Anybody that knows me knows that I just need to be warm. Like I'm sitting here right now, lying near my bed right now, and my heating is up full blast. Um, I'm always asking folk in cars to get the heating on. Yeah, I hate being cold, and this was not a great situation to be in when you hate the cold. So your heat goes down. They go over the briefing, and then what they need to do, because it's so cold, they can't just let you jump in and start the race. You need to go into the water and bob about, literally bob about for 2 minutes to get used to the water. And so we all jump into the water, and oh my god, I've never been so cold in my life. As soon as I went into the water, my whole body just like froze, man. It was so cold. I couldn't believe how cold it was. I instantly couldn't feel my hands. My neck was like, the water was up to my neck, and that was like painfully sore. Dipped my head under a couple of times to get my head used to it. My head just went into like brain freeze mode. It was unbelievable, and I wasn't the only one obviously thinking this. I'm looking around, and everybody's like in the same boat. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is so cold," because you know this is like been going on for 4 or 5 years now. So I think a lot of the guys had done it before, but they were saying like last year was like 8, 9 degree water, so it was way colder than previous. So I'm sitting and I'm just like, oh god, this is horrific. So they're like, right, back out, back out. So we jump out, and then a minute later they say, right, back in, and then another minute, and then you race. So we're back in the water, and I've never been so cold in my life. It was so bad, and I was just like, hurry up and start the race, because like, you know, the race in total, obviously there's obstacles, but the race in total is only about 500 metres. So in my half Ironman in June, I'm literally doing more than triple that. So I was quite confident, like, in regards to what I was attempting to do here. I was like, you know, I'll see how well I can do. I'll maybe, you know, if you become the first five of the heat, you progress into the next round, into a semi-final. And I was thinking, before I got there, obviously, I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to give this my best shot. I'm just going to swim as fast as I can and see what happens. But as soon as I got in that water, I knew I was not going to be able to swim properly, because I literally couldn't feel any part of my body. It was like, yeah, it was really shit. So the race starts, and I'm swimming like as fast as I can. So I thought. It turns out it wasn't swimming very fucking fast at all. Like it was like I was just trying my hardest to really beast it, but I just really wasn't moving very fast. But I just couldn't feel anything. My breathing was like really shit because of how cold it was, but it wasn't like to a point where it was uncontrollable. But yeah, I just couldn't. I just couldn't perform the way I would have been able to had it been warmer conditions and how I'd hoped to, and ultimately I couldn't finish the race. I just wasn't able to do it fast enough. It was just such a weird feeling, like you're trying to grab onto things, and you can't actually feel your hand touching the stuff because it's that cold. So yeah, I couldn't finish the race as it wasn't within the allocated time, and I had to come out the water. Unfortunately, not finished, and that was, at the time I was just like happy to get out the water because like by the point I was at the end, I was like I can hardly breathe here. I was starting to get really worried for like I was like, am I going to get really ill here because of how cold this is? And then my training and my work next week's going to be gubbed. But I was just kind of happy to get out the water. But I tried as best as I could. It just wasn't to be. I just was not prepared for how cold that was, and ultimately I failed. Yeah, which left me in a pretty shitty place, to be honest. Um, I just wanted to get away from it. I just got changed. My friend drove me back into town. I just went in a coffee shop and got a hot coffee and a bite to eat and just sat there, and I just kept replaying it over in my head. I just wanted to go back. I wanted to finish the race. I wanted to do it properly. I was so gutted, upset, angry, disappointed. Feel I let myself down. Just all those emotions were kind of just going through my head, and I was in a crap place. Just felt really gutted. And I kind of felt like that the rest of the day, to be honest. It wasn't a nice feeling since I've started this whole kind of fitness journey. 5 years ago, I've done most things I've set out to do. I've accomplished. Maybe sometimes not as well as I'd hoped for, but I've definitely accomplished them. Like triathlons and dieting down to low body fat levels, or runs, or lifting weights, personal bests. Failed at a lot of those, obviously, but ultimately, it's just not for something of that what that was. I just didn't think that would have happened before I started, and it did. Sorry, got a bit of a cough, obviously from the cold water, but yeah, it did, and I felt shite, like. But what it's done is it's made me feel like that, and I'm sitting there yesterday going, I don't want to feel like this again. I've got a half Ironman in June in Denmark, and I need to fucking kill that, man. I need to do my best there because I don't want to be sitting in this position having to tell people that I'm sorry, but I didn't do it. Especially because I'm raising money for charity for this. It's the biggest challenge of my life so far, this half Ironman. The reason I'm doing it is to inspire people, to show that, I can go from being really overweight to completing, half Ironman, and then hopefully full Ironman next year. And I don't want to be in that position again where I have to feel like that and I have to tell people that I'm sorry, didn't do it, guys. So it's made me so determined for Denmark. It's almost like it's a good thing that it happened. Kind of almost like brought back down to earth, like, fuck, these things can happen. You need to make sure you're ready for that, because I wasn't ready for that yesterday. Like, there was people there with thermal hats on under the swimming caps, thermal fucking gloves and thermal things under the wetsuits and all this, and that was just something, lack of experience of not doing it before. I didn't have any of that, wasn't prepared for that, so I need to make sure that I am on top of everything for this half Ironman, to make sure that I go in and can absolutely smash it. So obviously that was my experience over that yesterday, but that's obviously bringing me on to talk about failure. So, like, failure, I was sitting there feeling like that yesterday. However, I am the first person to tell people that you need to use failure as a chance to learn and to get better and stronger, because it's true. I've learned it firsthand. Like, when you can't do something, you need to use that as determination and give you strength to learn, to grow, get better, get stronger, and make sure that you don't fail again, or you don't feel like that again. There's a difference between failing and quitting. If you just give up every time you fail at something, you will never get anywhere in life. If you go for a job and you don't get it and you just never apply for another job again, you're going to be stuck in a shit job that you don't like because you failed at the first hurdle and you gave up. Whereas if you just keep trying, go for another job, go for another one, improve your CV, improve your interview skills, get more experience, and keep trying, you will eventually get a better job. It's just like anything else in life. You need to use that experience to drive you on. I remember I took a break from triathlon. I'd done 2 triathlons back to back, 2 Olympic distance triathlons back to back, 2013, 2014, and then I took a break in 2015 to focus on my weights. And then in 2017, start of 2017, that's when I kind of decided. I was like, okay, I told myself I was going to do an Ironman one day. I'm going to start that journey now. And first thing I done in regards to that was go out a run, and I had to stop after 2 kilometers. I was fucked. I couldn't believe how bad I was, and I was like, how the fuck am I ever going to do an Ironman if I'm gubbed after 2k? Like, I seriously shit myself. I was like, what's happening? What is going on here? Like, I've done 2 Olympic distance triathlons, and now I can't run 2k without stopping because it's too hard. I totally was like, oh my God. But I just told myself, okay, I am where I am, and I need to practice. I need to put the work in to get better. And with just like everything else, the more you work at something, the more you practice, the work that you put in, you will get the rewards and you will get better. Like today, I ran over 5k easy after 3 hours on a bike, and I could go out and run 10k easily. Whereas that day, I totally, couldn't breathe after 2 kilometers. But it's just because I hadn't ran, like done a proper run in like, a year and a half at that point. So my body was just out of condition for it. So that's how I'm going to do the Ironman, because I've got time to train and practice and put the work in. And if you really want something, you'll put the work in and you'll get it. Yeah, sometimes you need to get advice and coaching, and I'm going to need that in the build up to my Ironman. But I'll do it because I've got the determination, I've got the will to do it, I've got the work ethic. I will put the time in, I'll put the effort in, and I will do it. I will use yesterday's failure to make me stronger, and I will not give up. And I will reach my goal. I'll promise you that. If I try and do an Ironman next year and I've failed that, I will try again the year after, and I'll do it then, and so on and so on. Like, I put a post up yesterday just to explain that yesterday didn't go to plan, and how I was feeling. I put my emotion out there quite a lot. I'm quite an open guy like that, and I use. I've got people that follow me and people who look up to me as like inspiration for training and accountability and motivation, and I use that as my accountability. Like, if I put it out there that I'm telling people I'm going to do something, man, I need to do it. So I had to put it out there that I failed and I didn't do it. And there was just so many amazing comments and encouragement from people to say, you know what, man, like, I wouldn't even get in that water. Never mind try and do the race. You know, you're an inspiration. You know, just even trying it. And it was honestly so many overwhelming nice comments. It made me feel so much better. And that's what really made me, you know, pick myself up, dust myself down and go, you know what? Fucking get yourself together and go out there tomorrow and get a good session in, and because you know that's what makes you happy and that'll make you feel better. And today I did. I planned this session. I was going to do this training anyway, but it would have been easy for me to just not do that today because I was feeling sorry for myself over yesterday. Go, oh well, you know, you swam in really cold water, so just give yourself a wee rest and do the training next week. But no, I was like, all that encouragement from everybody yesterday, I was like, get yourself together, get out there and get it done. And it was amazing. Really good session today. It was my longest ever bike ride. I've never cycled a bike for 3 hours before. Trying to keep a good steady pace and some hill climbs in there as well, and it was really tough. Like, my legs were burning after half an hour, but managed to keep on the whole time. And then I went straight out and done a steady pace 40-minute jog, and that was actually a lot easier than what I thought it was going to be. My legs were sore, a bit jelly, but the fitness of the run felt really good, especially after all the cycling. And also the cycle gave me a good chance to practice taking in liquid carbs and food during the cycle to keep myself fueled. So that was the words have kind of escaped my mind. This is a problem with doing podcasts. Sometimes you just sitting talking about things just go out your head sometimes, you can't think about it. But moving on. But yeah, just finally on that, thank you anyone who commented on my photo on Facebook or Instagram yesterday. Just genuine, lovely, nice people to do that. You know, you didn't have to do that, and you did, and it made me feel much better. So thank you so much. There is no success without failure. Do not let fear of failure put you off chasing your goals. Nobody who's great at anything or at the top of their game got there without failing. Learning from it and using it to grow and get better is how they are where they are. The biggest fear I ever had in my life was giving up a secure salary in the bank to go self-employed, to do a job that I love with no idea how it was going to go, but at the end of the day still having rent and bills to pay. And it was so scary, and I almost never done it out through fear of failure. But I tell you something, it was the best thing I've ever done. Guys, set goals, smash them, do what it takes. If you fail, you fail, pick yourself up, go again, learn, get stronger. Use it as determination. Use anything that's shit that's ever happened in your life. Get that in your head when you're training. That will push you on, like, promise you, get music that inspires you, get that in during your training. It will stop you from giving up when you feel the going's getting tough. Use just raw fucking emotion and get it done. Don't ever quit. Fail, that's fine, but don't ever quit. Thanks for listening, guys. Peace out.